If you say you can, then don't let them say you can't. Shit ain't gonna be funny when you laughing to the bank. Hey, if you know you right, then don't let them say you ain't.
Bringing my brother and we leaving. For every minute you star, one of y'all's bleeding.
That Biggie.
They bought my brother in a jiffy. I took a cop just in case things got tricky. And just as we was walking out, I caught a bullet in the head. The screams never left my mouth. My brother caught a bullet too.
Yeah, that's Scarface.
I think he gonna pull through. He deserves to. The fast life ain't everything they told you. Never get much older, following the tracks of a soldier.
Ain't that Scarface?
No.
Who that is for real?
That's Tupac Soldier Story off the Tupacalypse now. I mean, that's
They're like
that's
95.
the fresh one.
94.
That's the fresh one.
What year this is?
Something like that. No, couldn't have been 94.
Mm-hmm.
Pac got killed in 90 what?
95.
So this was like 90, 91.
1991.
Something like that.
All right, so tell me what you were doing back then.
Oh, bro, man.
Because there's a reason on lyrics in your head. What was going on in your life back then in the 90s?
Well, you know, when you're born in the projects, West 24th Avenue, 507 West 23rd Avenue West, apartment A, B, C, and D, you know, because it was a village there, you know, and we idolized drug dealers because those are the people who had the money. And those are the people that was calling the kids to the ice cream truck, buying the ice creams, you know, coming from a place with no AC, no rides, you know, no jobs, we idolized drug dealers. And when Tupac, you know, to hear Tupac, Biggie, Scarface, I came up on that, you know. I came up on that. So that's what I was listening to rap music, everybody and their mama. You know, this cocaine era. You know, this cocaine era, crack cocaine era, the 90s, the early 90s, the late 80s and the early 90s. I come out of school in 90. The late 80s and the early 90s turned out more drug dealers and more crackheads or crack smokers than any other time that I can remember.
Yeah.
So it was what was going on.
Okay, so when you was in the project, at that moment, are those memories still vivid? You still remember a lot of those times?
I do.
You think that, because you know you said something, that we pretty much look up to the drug dealers, right?
We did.
When I say we, I'm saying young black males in the community.
Right.
But do you think the drug did more bad for our community? Because you said something. You turned out a lot of crackheads. So
most certainly.
We always see the dude with the money, and we see that side, and we kind of get happy. You know what I'm saying?
Most certainly, the drugs destroyed our neighborhoods, and it took away the values from our neighborhoods. It's you know, you saw the movie New Jack City, and you see where the Carter was a beautiful place to live until Nino Brown took it over, and it became a dog-eat-dog world, and like I say, morals went out of the door.
Did you see them type of changes happen in Cordele?
I did.
You can say it made you want to hustle. What it did for Royce Reeves back in the early 90s.
Royce Reeves had the hustle.
Okay.
Royce Reeves had the hustle. It was either hustle or be hungry. When you know, nobody was trying to give you no job. The only somebody that was offering work was drug dealers.
And you grew up. How many people was in your house?
In my household, in the beginning, there was only 4 people: my mom, my 2 sisters, and me.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, my 2 sisters, and myself. Eventually, I moved out. I moved out of my mom's house, and I went to stay with my uncle. I went to stay with a couple of uncles. My Uncle Welcome McKenzie, who owned the barbershop on 10th Street.
Okay.
And I moved in with my Uncle Clement C. Doster over on 13th Avenue. And Welcome was a welder my Uncle Welcome was a welder and a barber. And my Uncle Clint was big in construction. So they provided another way for me.
For you, okay.
You know,
so some of that rubbed off on you with barbering, with learning how to cut hair.
Right. Okay. 33 years of barbering I did before I decided, hey, I done lost the passion for it.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something else, and I just picked up what else they taught me, which was construction.
Okay, so
that's what I'm currently doing.
Okay, so going back to high school, not to cut you off, like pre-high school, what was it like coming up Sunset Home Project 24 West Side area?
Hey man, it was like I said, it was the village. The neighbors. When Don P spoke earlier about the changes, I came up in a time where people knew who you were. They knew who your parents were, and you had to be careful about what you did wherever you was at because all eyes was on you. and I come up in Sunset Homes, it was truly that village that we hear people talk about. If I did something in the bottom of the projects, God forbid it make it to the top of the projects, and we somewhere lived in the middle. So if Miss Mildred whooped me in the bottom of the projects, I wouldn't like the kids now that run home and tell their mom somebody put their hands on them. After Miss Mildred whooped me, I would be begging Miss Mildred not to tell my mama, because that meant I get another whipping. You know, so time changed. You know, you can't discipline people's children now without getting into a big altercation or even going to jail.
That real. You down there can't discipline your own.
Can't discipline your own children.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
But the devil is a lie. Knock hell out mine.
Hey, Roy, when I met you, man, that's what you were doing, cut hair.
Right.
As far as I can remember, I was probably like 13, 14 years old, right?
Right.
What led to you stop cut hair and, getting into the politics?
Well, politics, the barbershop really, the barbershop pretty much grounded me for politics. Anybody know anything about barbershops and beauty salons, that's what they are.
They're coming to see you.
Yeah, they coming to see, and that's where we discuss all our issues at. And for the barbershop, I mean, it's a black man country club, and that's where we discussed all our issues inside of the barbershops. And whenever the guys in our city, the guys or the girls, whoever decided to run for office, they had to come to the barbershop to see, because they knew that the barbers and the beauticians came in contact with a lot of people, and that was one way to get the word out. And to be honest, what got me into politics was supporting people who was running for office, who made promises and didn't keep that promise. And because I was the go-between of the guy that was running for office and the people who they wanted to vote for them, I was the person that they complained to, that the people complained to when the candidate didn't do what they said they was going to do. And so one day I decided, you know what? I'm gonna stop asking these guys why they didn't do this or do that. We'll just cut out the middleman. I'll run for office, and that way when people got a complaint, it just come directly to me.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so we're going to give the people a little background history. I know we just jumped right into a conversation, start talking. Hey, man, we got a good guest, a special guest with us here today. Mr. Royce Reeves, Cordele, Georgia, at the current time is former city commissioner, but like I said earlier when I was talking to my mans, you always the people commissioner. It's just by default. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You the first mayor, and I know right now we do have a mayor, but you the first person that I done heard other people in the city call a mayor Cordele when we ain't never had no mayor. So, the West Side mayor, I guess the Cordele urban community, black community, self-chosen or people-chosen mayor, Royce Reeves. This is who we got in here today. Hey, man, so back to it. You were talking about how you got into politics. So now you run for the seat, which is Ward 2, Cordele, Georgia. You run for Ward 2. I remember I was staying in Rosewood. You knocked on my door.
Okay.
You knocked on my door and you told me, hey, Don P, man, I'm running for mayor, man. And at that time, I was in the community heavier than I am now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are.
We still the influence still there.
Yeah. But
I was touching a lot more people. And so I jumped on the bandwagon. I jumped on that campaign. So from that point, you end up holding that seat for 12 years.
12 years.
Man, tell us about some of the challenges, some of your experiences, your most memorable, good and bad experiences.
Oh man, it was you got to remember, when I came into office, I felt that people that was coming from my background and my walk of life didn't have representation. I preceded people whom were long-time educators, had jobs, had worked for the city. Mr. Colson had worked for the city 40-something years. He was commissioner, and you had Mr. Demery, like I say, educators, and Curtis Lucas, who was, again, an educator. And they was creating laws to where they was creating laws where I felt like targeted the African-American man. When I saw they didn't understand the difference between culture and breaking the law. And what I mean by that is, at the time, like I said, Tupac was my time. Lil Wayne was he was that guy in front of those people when I ran for office, and all the rappers were wearing their pants sagging and they were showing their underwear. And to the older people, they felt like that was, this is disgusting. Why he walking around with his underwear showing? And they created, the guy before me created a sagging pants law. The police was going to be able to pull up on you, give you a citation or a warning for wearing your clothes the way you wanted to wear your clothes. And I felt like at that point that we had went too far with creating laws. And
it was in Cordele?
Right.
You can get a citation for sagging?
Yeah, they call it the sagging pants law. And it's still,
I don't really remember that.
I kind of remember that. This around what, 2010?
Around 2010, correct.
Yeah.
And that law is still in effect. It's just not, they just don't
enforce it.
They just don't enforce it. But it was there. And that was one of the things that led me to run for office. I was like, because, again, people from my walk of life, I felt like we had no representation. And if you're going to be representing the people of your community, you got to represent all the people. You got to represent all the people. And any time any commission or council is in total agreement all the time, somebody in that community is not being represented. And we all deserve representation because whatever walk of life you're coming from, you're still 9 times out of 10 a taxpayer in that community. And you should be treated the same way everybody else is treated in that community. So,
Gotcha. Hey, I got a big one. Elephant we want to address. 12 years in a room. This for the local politics. For people who would say, hey, man, it was time for Russ to step to the side because he ain't did nothing while he was in there. You tell me some things that you accomplished for the people during your 12-year tenure as city commissioner.
I can give you a couple things. Again, like I told you, I felt that we were being targeted and we was the people that were looked at as less. Cordele was always known for partying. People would travel from Ashburn, Americas, Dooley County, Wilcox, from all surrounding county because Cordele was just the place to be. And some things happened, and the commission before me decided that all nightclubs need to be closed at 12 o'clock on Fridays and Saturdays. And one of the things that I wanted to change when I got in the office was to keep people back, bring the people back to our city for the nightlife. I wanted to bring people back to our city, and the only way to do that was to extend the nightclub hours. And so that was one of the things we got done. We extended the nightclub hours. For years, I heard people talk about we don't have a decent restaurant where we can go to. You can't even go somewhere and have a mixed drink in Cordele, Georgia. And the rumor was that the reason Applebee's won't come is because, and that's what everybody asking for, Applebee's. They said, well, Applebee's not going to come here because they can't pour mixed drinks. And so one of the things I pushed for was mixed drinks to be sold in our restaurant. 16 each being the first of its kind. That was when you talk about mixed drinks, that was you had to have a 60% when I came in office in order to sell a mixed drink. One of the first laws was you had to have a 60% surplus in food sales to be able to pour mixed drinks. Well, if you go to Michelle's now, the Club Michelle's now, there is no food there, but they pour drinks. So all you have to do now is apply for a mixed drink license and you can pour drinks. Those are some things I've done. We had cemeteries. That was cemeteries and mainly African-American cemeteries that was in our community that wasn't being tended to, being overlooked. You couldn't see the tombstones and the headstones for the grass, and it was being ignored. And I fought to have the city to funnel money over to the Chamber of Commerce, from the Chamber of Commerce to keep Chris Beautiful in the effort to keep those things clean. There were no African-American contracts. There were no contracts for African-Americans when I ran for office. None at all. And so those were some of the things I got done.
Not to cut you off air, you said we spoke about the alcohol on Sundays.
Right.
Speak about that, how you...
Well, when I spoke about alcohol sales on Sunday, all the ministers in the community, they came to that city commission meeting and they was going to outcast me because they said, according to them, that Sunday was a sacred day and it was a holy day and that we shouldn't be selling alcohol on Sundays. Well, I challenged them and I went to the scripture with them and I let them know that, hey, the Sabbath is on a Saturday. Sunday actually starts the first day of the week, if you look at it, correctly. So somebody already went against the grain, but they fought me tooth and nail. They fought me tooth and nail, and I like to share this story with you. When we got this done, it wasn't a majority black commission. It was a majority white commission. When I got them to put it on the ballot, we had to put it on the ballot and let the citizens decide. And that's pretty much what I asked them to do, and they did that. And the citizens, they came out and they voted for it. But how I encouraged the commission to put it on the ballot was I told a story. And the story was, I asked the question, have you ever lived next door to a bootlegger? And any time you don't have a liquor store or anyone selling alcohol on Sunday, you're going to have bootleggers. And we didn't have bootleggers for a long time.
For sure.
Bootleggers everywhere. We got bootleggers in our family. Bootleggers in our families. And I asked the question to a majority white commission, have you ever lived next door to a bootlegger? Can you imagine coming home from church on Sundays? You and your family, you've been to church and you heard the word and you're feeling real good and the spirit is all over you, but you live next door to a bootlegger. Mm-hmm. And when you pull up to your driveway, because you live next door to a bootlegger, you got to get out of your vehicle, walk down there with a crowd at to find out who got this Pinto that's blocking your driveway. And you go down there and you ask the guy, hey, will you come and move? Will you please come and move your vehicle so I can get in the driveway? You make it back to the vehicle. You sit there 5 more minutes because he's drinking. He done forgot. So you got to walk back down there. Hey, when he see you, oh, okay, my bad, I'm coming. So once you finally get into your driveway and you and your family go inside of the house, because you live next to a bootlegger and your walls are not soundproof, you hear motherfucker, fuck you, fuck you, suck my dick, suck your own dick, pussy ass nigga, fuck boy. Yeah. You hear all these things, but you just left church, okay? You just left church. But it's because you live next door to a bootlegger, and wherever there's alcohol, because you're drinking, it's gonna be some of those words.
Gonna be some chaos.
And I asked the question. I said, well, you turn your TV up to try to ground some of that out, but it's Sunday, and your wife, she's standing there at the kitchen sink, and she's washing the vegetables in. She getting ready to prepare Sunday dinner, and I don't care how much alcohol we got in us, we all want to use the restroom in private, okay? Well, if the crowd is at the bootlegger's house, where's the private spot? Bootlegger don't let you go inside the house use the bathroom, so where the private spot is? You got to turn away from the crowd, and now your wife's standing there in the mirror washing the vegetables, and some fool standing there with his Johnson out, pissing on the side of your house. And telling that story to this commission, they decided, okay, I ain't never lived next door to a bootlegger. And what I shared with them, again, like I said earlier, your job as an elected official is to represent all the people. And you got to represent those people that live next door to the bootleg as well. And thankfully, from what I see now from the time we done that, the bootleggers pretty much extinct right now. There's still some people that sit around and drink, but for the most of it, people wouldn't go to a bootleg.
You think that solved the problem for the city?
I think it helped out.
It helped out.
I don't think the problem is as big now
as it was.
Do
you think that hurt our city in any way?
I don't. What I know it did is helped our city because that was my side of it morally. The city is a business, and the business of the city is to collect taxes. Well, can you imagine the revenue that the city was losing because Turner County was selling alcohol on Sunday, Dooley County was selling alcohol on Sunday, and people leaving our city to go to the other cities and buy? So it most certainly benefited the city financially to sell alcohol on Sundays. It was a plus.
Hey, when you got on the commission, you said it was a majority white commission.
It was.
How did the commission look back then? Because I wasn't paying no attention to politics. Versus what the commission. How did it get from however it was back then to what we've been seeing the last 5 years been going on in the commission?
When I ran for office and we weren't by ward, there's only one at-large seat and it's still that way today.
What year was it when you?
2012.
12. Okay.
2012. 2013 when I ran for office. I want to say 2013. But when I ran for office, I came up with a number that they never seen before. 308 people came out in Second Ward and said that they wanted me to be their new commissioner. Before I ran for office, you can win an election in Second Ward with 69 votes. Okay,
You had 308.
308. The Curtis Lucas won with 150 votes. So when I came in with 308 votes, it was clear that the people wanted me. The city couldn't ignore me because of the number of votes.
Yeah.
And the influence that we had. I came in with Zach Wade, A.J. Rivers, God rest his soul, guy who I respected, Ms. Gina Barty. And then there was a Jamie Fernandez, who had replaced a guy by the name of Jimmy Black.
I don't know none of these people, so tell me, what did the commission, were those, you were saying these are white people, I'm assuming.
Jamie Fernandez was the commissioner of Ward 4. Mm-hmm. He holds a seat now at West. He had a seat then that Wesley Rainey holds now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ms. Gina Barty was a longtime city commissioner, and that's the seat that Isaac Owens held, and now George Singletary holds.
Yeah, I remember Barty.
Okay. And the at-large seat was Zach Wade, which JoJo Wright holds. And Mr. Rivers and myself when I came on.
So you were the only black person?
No, A.J. Rivers.
A.J. Rivers. Oh,
Ward
okay.
1.
Oh, okay.
Right.
He was a black man.
Black man.
All right, so you and Rivers.
We were the only two blacks.
And then there were three. Okay.
Right. When I got the when we named when I petitioned to have 24th Avenue named honoring Dr. King, I never forget. I made the motion. Mr. Rivers told me, he schooled me a lot. And Mr. Rivers told me, he said, Royce, don't tell nobody what you're gonna do. Just hit them with it when you come to the meeting.
Just do it.
And I came inside, to just stay on some of the things I did when I came in office. And I came inside, and it was so funny to me when the meeting started. I made a motion to do something to honor Dr. King. And Mr. A.J. Rivers looked down at the end of the table like this here, and he was like, he looked at Zach Wade, and he said, hey, I can't go against Dr. King. I second the motion. And that was one of the highlights of my career because it was so funny. And when I did this, King had been dead already 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So
you had never done that before in Cordele?
No one had never done that.
Why he looked at you like that? Was he surprised?
Well, you got to understand, before I came in the office, this town was, there's nothing, ain't too much change but the demographics. White people ran everything, and racism still does exist. One of the things I agreed with Josh Darrow with was racism does exist. I wasn't gonna call it out on every level that I possibly could. I wasn't gonna sit around and say, "Oh, you racist! Oh, he racist!" Because at the end of the day, calling somebody racist, if they in power, what do you do about it? What can you do about how somebody else feel about another person?
Yeah.
I've only wanted people to respect me. At some point, they're gonna need you like you need them, and that's politics. So that was a lot of things done. There was so many things done while I was in office, or the paving of streets that needed to be paved. It's just so much that I've seen over my 12 years of time.
What I want to talk to you about, like in the city, like in Atlanta, you can get a citation for anything less than an ounce, correct?
Right, and we did the same thing. That was something else that I.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How it was supposed to happen like that in our city or something. Or did it happen?
It did happen in our city.
Okay.
It did happen in our city.
Touch on that for real quick.
I was traveling to places. On city business, and people like Athens, Georgia, mainly up in the Metro Atlanta, Georgia, where we would come and do a lot of training, and people would get citations for small amounts of marijuana. And I felt that too many times in our city, that marijuana was sending people back to PDC, violation or whatever was, simple violation of their
small amounts too.
Probation, right, and they was going back to jail. And I just figured that, since other cities are doing this, we should do this as well. And that was a motion made, and the motion was carried out. And so in Cordele, Georgia, less than an ounce of marijuana is really punishable by a citation. I want to say it's $100 fine, and that's what it is in Cordele, Georgia. That's
that current.
That is current.
Okay.
That is current.
So you get caught with, just say, 3 grams of marijuana right now, you don't go to jail?
You don't go to jail if they.
But you do get a citation.
But if
Right.
it's in separate, if it's in individual packings,
It's gonna be considered possession with intent to distribute.
hello, I'm a product of that.
Elaborate on that, man. Get
You know
young
what
people
I'm
some
saying?
game. Tell them how to go.
Basically, I know when I got charged in 2012, it's probably the same year that I left Cordele. I got charged. I probably had what I probably had 5-6 bags. You know what I'm saying? Some little za. You know what I'm saying? Little grams. It really wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Probably 5 grams, but it was in
All
separate.
together.
Yeah. So they hit me with intent to distribute, bro, and I probably didn't even have a 7. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I really just realized, like, bro, this street shit just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Just, if y'all gonna give me, that shit turn me to a convicted felon now. You know what I'm saying?
And understood, but what turned you into a convicted felon was you pleaded out somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, when she offered, because I already had other little.
Yeah, but at the same, I get it. We already got stuff, but we're not dealing with other stuff, and we
Yeah.
want to touch on that, and I want to share with people about the system
I got you.
because you know the law says that you're innocent until proven guilty. Well, in my experience, that's only been for white people. Blacks are guilty according to other black people until they're proven innocent.
I could dig that.
Other black people gonna make you guilty, okay? Oh yeah, he been doing that. That's what he do.
Yeah.
And but I like to share with people that you should fight. You should fight and not be scared away with the possibility of.
I had a paid lawyer and everything, bro. I wasn't going to trial because I already know. Like, and then at that time, who was in a B-Craft?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how them folk coming. I already, you know what I'm saying? She offered 10. The first time she ain't offer but 10, do 2. The next time she was trying to do a year. And I'm like, man, I ain't even finna go there. So when the lawyer, he pushed it out for another court date or whatever. So when I came back the next time, she said 8-year probation. So I'm like, shit, I ain't got no
You
choice.
ran with it.
I had to.
And
Real out we were together though.
Yeah, no,
You had it
it
separate.
was a separate packaging. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
because
by law, even if he would have went to trial, this just a question I'm just asking. Would he have lost? Because he got it in separate packaging.
see, this is the thing. Like, we want to talk about jury or your peers.
And they got it out the
Our
gas
biggest-
tank. They didn't get it out my pocket.
Our biggest problem with the legal system is we're the number one people charged, but we are the people that's running away from serving on jury duty. Okay? We
That's
are
true.
the people that's running away from jury duty. I like to tell people that the reason the guy that got away with killing Trayvon Martin was because of the jury that he had. It's the jury that he had. The jury didn't look like us. There's no way that this guy would have got off with 12 black jurors. He'd be still be in jail now.
Yeah, that's a bar. What you just said, the jurors, we don't even want to be on the jury.
We don't want to serve, and we claim we know people, and because of that, we left to plead guilty to something that we know they saying that we did, and we know we didn't. Because me knowing you, and I've been knowing you since you was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So me knowing you, I'm knowing that you weren't selling no marijuana. You just had 4 or 5 different marijuanas.
Yeah.
You know, you had a variety of smoke. But when the police get it, he don't know you. And he's moving according to the law. So when you plead not guilty and you sit there and Don sits on your jury, and I'm sitting on your jury, we find you not guilty. We find you not guilty, and it only takes one person to say not guilty. But a lot of times we just don't want to take that chance.
Don't want to take that
And
chance.
we'll go ahead and we'll give the state that conviction. And that's
so
why
what should
Georgia
we do? Advise us right there. When somebody, you get that letter in the mail, say, hey man, you gonna serve jury duty Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay, so you
Most of us want to get out of them days. That's what you're saying, right?
right, and that's
but
why
instead we should volunteer to stay during those due processes.
you should want to serve on a jury as an African American, because think about this right here. I'm sitting with a brother right now who did 15 years in prison. Okay, and when they convicted this brother, this good brother, when they convicted this brother, one of the things they took away from him was his what? Right to vote. Okay? They took away from that. Where do you get your jury from? A pool of what? Registered voters. That's where you get your jurors from. Okay? So it's a reason that they take away your right to vote when you're a convicted felon. It's one of the things that they take away. Your right to carry a gun. They leave you out there. You can't vote. You have no say-so about anything that's going on. You will not serve on a jury to be able to set nobody else free, and you can't even protect yourself. Everybody can walk around with a gun except you.
Yeah, real.
And it's because, again, we won't serve. Yes, if you get some mail in the paper and they asking you to come to jury duty, you should want to. You know, these are things that your ancestors in the civil rights movement and that they was fight for when they was fight for the right to vote. They wanted to be a part of what was going on in their community.
Yeah.
You know, blacks weren't able to serve on juries. It was a time where blacks couldn't serve on juries. It was a time where the black man was able to serve and the black woman couldn't. And women really had it rougher. But you got to understand, if anybody's trying to keep something away from you, you got to say, well, it got to be of some importance.
Yeah.
If they're going to keep it from me, it's got to be important.
So you get that paper in the mail, you need to really be trying to.
You get anything in the mail calling you the jury duty, don't go there telling my stomach hurting, my head hurting. I know that person. I don't think I can sit there and be fair. Don't do that, because what they've done, they've called on you, and you can be the difference maker between somebody coming home to continue to provide for their family or going to prison for a long time. Okay? Yeah. You can be the difference maker, and it only takes one person on that 12-member jury to sit there and say not guilty. And that not guilty verdict is going to go through, and that person goes home. Mm-hmm. And I say that, and I want to add this on to it. DAs beef up the charges on people. Okay? There's a lot of charges that people have been charged with where it should have been that charge instead of that charge. But I've learned in just dealing with this legal system of ours, it's not about what they charge me. It's about what he can get a conviction off of, and that's what it's about.
They're real.
And I share with people, like, we are worst enemies. You know, we're afraid, and I hate to say this on Global Podcast, but y'all always gave people the flow to just speak their mind.
They're real. Do what you do.
My assumption of my people is that we are afraid of everything except each other. Don, you realize I bust y'all motherfucking head on y'all try me like that.
Mm-hmm. Come on with it.
You see how we talk?
Yeah.
Oh, he no better to play with me like that. That motherfucker don't play that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, he try to mother motherfucker like that. He don't play with me.
Yeah.
See, we're afraid of everything except each other. When I see that dark skin, I'm not afraid of you. Now, Boy Pfeiffer can pull up here in that old-ass police car with that old-ass damn gun, and because we smoking a blunt of reefer, we'll go to walking away like Roach when the lights come on, trying to get the hell away from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
Something wrong.
We think we conditioned you as a people because that didn't happen by accident, or did it? Somewhere along the way, something happened, some change to make us feel like that, you know, we should fear other people, and we shouldn't fear each other.
Well, it was embedded in you I think it come from slavery.
That's what I was going to say. I guess shit come from slavery. It been like that.
It come from slavery, but see, this is the thing. So we agree that where it come from. So now that we know where it come from, it seemed that it ought to be that much easier to change it. So we didn't like slavery. We were so ready to get rid of slavery, but we want to hold on to everything that slavery gave us. Nobody wants to be a slave. I'm glad I'm not a slave, but you're holding on to everything that slavery gave you. You're holding on to that religion. You're holding on to that, hey, I can do anything to anybody except him. You're holding on to that. Mm-hmm. You know? So that's one of the these things very dear to me, man. I get bothered a lot of times when we sitting there and we talking about, you know, what the white man did and what the white man do and how I can't elevate. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that you guys did this podcast because, again, what do we do to change it? There's so many avenues and there's so many roads and there's so many different places where blacks can now create their own wealth. And we don't have to depend on Mr. Charlie to eat anymore. You know, we don't have to depend on Mr. Charlie. I mean, it's wide open right now. Mm-hmm. Through the time of social media, it's a new day out there. Mm-hmm. You know, and all you got to do is get up and go get it. Can't nobody hold you back anymore.
I got two questions I want to insert real quick before we get too far. Has it been a time in Cordele where you seen black people doing good? Like, what you're describing now, have you seen a time where it was different?
Again, you heard me talk about being born and raised in the projects, and that village was there. But when I left there, I went to stay with my uncle. My mom, my mom was a person who didn't work. You know, my mom was content with the welfare and the food stamps. You know, she was content with that, and that's how we lived. We waited. We used to. I come from a time where you go to the neighbor house and you say, "Hey, Mama sent me over here to see can we get a $65 book till she get her food stamps, she'll give it back to you." Okay? Well, so when you talk about the change for me was when my mom allowed me to go live with my uncle and my auntie. And my auntie went to work every day at a sewing factory. And my uncle, like I say, worked as a welder and had his own business. I didn't know what pizza was until I went to stay with them. And every Friday night, my auntie went cooking. So my uncle would bring 2 large pizzas to the house. You know, I lived for Friday.
They were doing good at that time.
They were doing good. We had no vehicle in the project.
But as a people, as a whole, like, what about the people in the community? Then before we were born.
Before we were born, I'm gonna tell you when people did good. My opinion that people did good just watching. When people paid more attention to their education, was the late '60s. It was in the '60s. Edge Clark. I rarely run across somebody who could tell me that they was an Edge Clark Ram that's not also educated but doing well.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a time where black people were very well respected, and even if they worked for somebody else, they was, you know.
And the reasoning for my question is this, and this is a 2-part, like I had said before. What do we do to get the mentality of our people back there? And then also, when you were saying about us not being scared, we scared of everything about each other. I just want to dive straight in and ask you, what do you think we can do as a people to change the mentality of our younger black males coming up? Because right now what we see in our city is a high, you know, not just a high crime rate, a high murder rate. We can't change. Well, I can't say we can't change what's going on now, but I think it's definitely imperative that we put an imprint on the future, the 12, 13-year-olds that are coming up before they start picking up guns and being violent towards each other. What are some things we can do as a people to try to change that mentality before it get to the point in their life?
In our community, we don't do planned apprentices. We don't do planned apprentices. Okay, we don't plan to have kids. We go to dealing with a girl. She tell us she pregnant, she had a baby. Now we parents. Okay, that's some issue we have in our community, and I haven't been shy about saying this right here. I'm a big country music fan. I like some rap music. A lot of rap music I don't. And knowing that whenever you sell an album, see, back in the day we used to buy an album.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go and buy the CD. And on the CD, it quoted that you had to be a certain age
to listen to
this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all you got to do is not pick up your phone and go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's all you got to do. And there is no parental advisory,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So a lot of our kids are being influenced by their music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our kids are being influenced by
Just
their music.
internet in general, what they saying.
This music.
So what we do though?
Music
What,
and TV are raising our children. Turn the damn TV off. Take the phone.
Get them outside.
Get them outside. It's a simple fix. It's a simple fix. I mean, be involved.
Man, I think it's a little more complex than that though.
We
That's what I'm just saying.
We all entitled to our thoughts. You gotta understand something. People making millions and making billions of dollars for talking about black people killing other black people.
Royce, you told me before we turned the cameras on, you told me you got how many boys?
I got 6 boys.
You don't raise 6 boys up, right? How many of them been to prison for a violent charge?
Neither one of them.
So I'm asking you, what's the key? If I'm raising a little boy, because I think that statistic is phenomenal in today's time.
I just shared it with you. It was parenting. It was being involved.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's deeper than just taking the phone, because y'all didn't even have phone.
Yeah, well, they had at some point.
Yeah, they did.
But my question was, my question would be like, it's like when I came here, you introduced me to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came up, when I was coming up, when I was a kid coming up, when you went to somebody's house, they would ask you, what's your name and who are your people? Okay? What's your name and who are your people? And when they would tell us, when they would tell my family members who their people was, whenever they left, my people were going to say, hey, I don't want you running with them no more.
Right.
Or they were going to say it's okay for them to come around.
Right.
It was going to be one or the other one. Because they knew stuff about these people that I didn't. Okay? Because I'm a child. Raising my boys, to just be frank with you, raising my boys, when my boys were coming up, in my era, it was drugs. When my boys were coming up, when my boys was at that age, it was gangs. Mm-hmm. And me being a parent, I don't allow my kids, my boys will tell you, they grown now, they can tell you they never did a sleepover. They never did a sleepover. People slept over at my house. My boys never did a sleepover. I wouldn't allow them to go and spend the night at other people's house because I couldn't control what was going on at other people's house. I knew what was going on in my house, and I knew what I wanted to expose my boys to and what I didn't want to expose them to. Mm-hmm. Okay? So with that being said, when it came to the latest video game, where everybody was waiting on that game for Christmas, my boys had it in June or July. So all the guys gravitated to my house. We constantly bought juice and chips because, you know.
Strong parenting, you think the answer?
Nothing else. Nothing else but that. I mean, you yourself came from a two-parent home.
Yeah.
You know, and that was Morris is still.
So that where you were going with the planned pregnancy. We need to start with two-parent household.
We need to start with two-parent household. And then if for some reason the two parents can't make it, the custodial parent needs to be willing to let that other parent be in that child's life.
Yeah, and see another thing, that parents now, like you were saying a while back, when you in the neighborhood, you go to the top of the project, Miss Annie gonna tell your mama you did, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me build that cousin.
See, it ain't a lot of that going on these days either.
Because the kids done had kids, and then so what he was cussing, the music he was listening to, every lyric got a cuss word in it. Like, you know, you see, go to TikTok now.
They say it take a village. It ain't, you know what I'm saying?
TikTok
it ain't
now.
like that no more.
What the little white boy say? A bullshit, and we laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You know, so it's funny when we see kids out there cursing and doing all type of stuff. Hey, and this is not the way to be, and that's why we're in this situation that we're in. Because we would rather do what sells right now instead of what's going to prosper in the long run.
You think that hard sometimes though? Cause I'm what you consider. My children almost really basically grown now, right?
Right.
But I'm still like a young parent, right?
Right.
So I see it happening with a lot of the parents in our generation. The generational gap is so much smaller. We relate to our kids a lot more than our parents related to us. A lot of parents, our peers as parents, are friends with their kids. You get what I'm saying? So hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
They friend with their children. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To a certain extent, I'm friend with all my children. You know what I mean? Hold on, but this is what I'm saying. That makes it hard for them to be a strict parent. It make you hard to beat your child when you kind of got that relationship to them, especially once they get 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Now me, I feel I know my children are pretty much doing set on a straight path, but I was a very strict father. I let them do a lot. You know, my thing in my house, if you do what you're supposed to do, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? But even that, of course, comes with limitation. But I didn't have, the whole point that I'm trying to make is, I didn't have a problem being a strict parent. But at the same time, a lot of time I was the bad guy in my household. A lot of time my wife might wouldn't have supported that. She might wouldn't have got on that. She ain't finna lay that leather. She gonna fuss and scream and have a headache. That what going on with the mothers.
Well, to go back to what I said a minute ago, Don, people about to take it two parents. One of y'all got to be the soft hand. One of y'all got to be the hard hand. But at the end of the day, the parents got to support each other.
That's true. The era too soft, dog.
Yeah,
it's too soft.
And he say soft, but when you was talking, I was sitting here and I was saying y'all some punk ass parents. That's all it is. You some punk ass parents because I ain't never been my children's friend. Yeah. And I made it clear from the get go that we're not friends. Yeah. My boys got older, man. When they got older and they were grown, I'm gonna tell you a story. They probably get pissed off at me for telling they see the podcast, but I'm gonna tell it. My boys, I heard that little Royce was smoking. Now, mind you, Royce grown now. But Royce was that kid who never did anything around me. No cursing, no drinking, no smoking. And he come to town one day to help me I was putting a roof on my house, and Royce was bringing the shingles up, and I was on top of the roof, and I was smoking a blunt, and I passed it to Royce. And when I passed it to him, he smoked. Okay? So now that's confirmation that Royce do smoke. And now he's smoking with his daddy. Don't you know how cool my daddy died when I was 12? Man, do you know how many things I want to do with my daddy? You know, don't you know how awesome it is to be able to go to the strip club with your daddy?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
took
at this
Don
time,
P to the strip club.
At this time, I done took my boys to the strip club, okay? They been the best of the parties, you know, and with the strippers there, but that was something I took them to. Outside of that, they stayed away from me with it. Well, Lil Royce told his brother, he told another brother, and on the weekend, this particular weekend, we all sitting there. My son comes in the house, yeah, he got a cigarette, he got a weed, yeah, I'm finna smoke one with my daddy. That's because Lil Royce didn't get all excited with me. He just smoked the blunt and went on by his business. But he left there and he got on the phone and brother, he said, boy, smoke the blunt with daddy, boy. Boy, daddy smoked the blunt with you. Boy, yeah, boy, daddy smoking with me. So now I got all my boys, we sitting in the living room, we passing the blunt around. And for a moment, it was okay. But then the conversation started. Now the weed conversation started. And they got to talking to me about, you know, the sex talks. You know, just be straight up, the sex came up. And I was like, hey, I think we done went too far. But their mama told me, said, well, you open the doors up for that shit when you smoke with them. You know what I'm saying? So even though they were grown, what happened was I opened up the doors to make them equal to me. And you and your kids should never be equal. Rell is your friend. Rell is your friend. You call him your friend. I would never call my kids what Rell is to me. There's got to be a separation. And that's why I say, like, when I hear people say, oh, yeah, he did this and he did that, and I rewarded him. The only reward you get for cleaning up, the only reward that you get for cleaning up your room is having a room to sleep in. Okay? You don't get no reward for making good grades in my house. What the hell you supposed to do?
That's what you supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You don't get no reward because I got your agenda this week and you ain't have no damn write-ups. You know what I'm saying? No, that's why you didn't get your ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have no write-ups. And so, and going back to what I said a minute ago, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix.
Did you beat your children? Did you spank your children?
I tore their ass up.
Hold on. Hey.
But when I beat them.
Now, give me some.
Huh?
Yeah.
I tore their ass up. Because you got to remember, I'm raising boys. I'm raising what society has deemed to be today's animal, a young black male.
Hey, were you married when you done this?
Yeah.
It didn't cause no kind of conflict in the household?
No. My wife was very supportive. And I can hear her now saying, hey, she was that, what I say, that ease hand and that hard hand. You don't crank up a car with two positives and two negatives. One got to be one and one got to be the other. So my wife was the person in the background saying, hey, look, you know what your daddy done said. You know he came home, y'all didn't clean up the other day. So y'all need to get on that.
Now, Paul, they ain't letting you do that no more. Like, I ain't talking about my situation. I ain't talking about Don's situation. Just where we at in the world right now. Bro, you're not finna be, like, going crazy, whooping them. The era, you know what I'm saying? So now, like, you don't really know, like, damn, man, am I doing right as a father? This shit soft as hell out here. Everything is just too easy asset for these kids. You can't put, like you say, that leather. You can't put that leather on them.
I'm going to beat your ass.
You can't do it. I bet you can't do it right now.
Yes, I can.
You can't do it.
Wait a minute.
You can't do it right now.
Let me share with you.
Shit too soft, bro.
Let me share with you why I would do it right.
Your ass gonna go to jail.
Let me share with you why I'm doing it.
I appreciate my daddy for putting it on me.
Because we was in that era, because mama and grandmama were backing daddy back then. You know what I'm saying? These women ain't gonna back you and telling you, hey, Don, the wife, I'm just saying, anybody's situation, not your situation, your wife telling you, beat his ass. Ain't no mama telling them that was wrong, bro.
I got a question for you. Where we at right now?
In the city.
We're in the city, right?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King went to jail for doing something people say he shouldn't have did. David Ralph Abernathy, they all went to jail. Hosea Williams, took his ass to jail.
For doing the right thing.
For doing what people say they shouldn't be doing. You gotta be in control of what's going on around you. Like earlier when we were talking, we were talking about a post a friend of ours made on Facebook about letting a woman wear leave. You said, "Hey, what? And who was?" So in my house, I'm gonna kick some ass. And the only way that you're gonna know that I kick some ass is the person who I kicked ass leave this house and go and make it publicly known that I kicked their ass. See, I done been kept out of school a few days because of that.
The time just done changed, bro. The time done changed because it was time when daddy gonna whoop you because you did some bullshit, then you go to grandma high. Grandma gonna beat your ass. Now the grandma 45. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, she gonna come over here. You done did wrong. She gonna give you a hug, tell you go back there and play the game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, she gonna hug you.
It's the times. It ain't nobody in particular that I'm saying. I'm talking about us as a culture. You ain't got them old grandparents that, well, boy, we gonna make your ass stand on business. You ain't
We're
going
not being strict parents.
We ain't no strict parenting, bro. This shit so.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
You hold on. No, one more time.
Okay.
You beat his ass. His mama go goddamn buying some shoes.
No. When I beat his ass,
Come on, man.
When I beat his ass, his mama looked at it and said, "I tried to tell you."
And
and that was support. That was the support I had.
They were 95, bro.
And I want to share something else with you. And just not to stay on my boy too long, but a lot of times we got too many rules in the house.
Yeah.
Y'all had one rule for raising my boy. I ain't have one rule.
What that is?
Don't upset the cook.
Yeah.
That's the only rule I had. Because common sense, these children, a baby grab this phone right now and know where to go with it. So those children had common sense. I had one rule in my house. Don't upset the cook. I tell my boys, I wouldn't give a damn if you went to school and failed every class you took. But guess what? It's going to upset the cook.
Yeah.
So if you don't pass, the cook upset, bitch,
Now
you
we
done
got a
broke the
problem.
rule.
Yeah.
We got a rule.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, boy, what you got in here last night? It right at dog. You pushing it. Now, I wouldn't give a damn if you left here and then come back. I don't. Your daddy. Royce Reeves saying, I wouldn't give a damn if y'all left here and then come back. That'd be one less mouth I got to feed. But it will upset the cook.
Got it.
So you need to have your ass here.
Need to be here, right?
Because if the cook upset, I'm coming to find you. I'm going to beat your ass. Because you upset the cook.
Yeah.
Hey, when you were raising your boy, do you feel like the guns were a threat in the community?
No, I didn't feel like guns was a threat in my community when I was coming up. People had guns. I came up.
No, not when you were coming up. What I'm saying, you raising your kid. Could they threaten our community? Not when you agree.
Yeah.
How do we nullify that threat?
Well, because what I told my boys was, this is what I shared with my boys, and I hope this will help anybody that's watching. Most of these kids who end up with gun charges, I want y'all to pay attention to me. Most of these kids that end up with gun charges have not been told that if they wait till they're 18 years old or better, they can go and apply for a license to carry. And a lot of times they get caught with guns that's stolen, guns that don't belong to them. If a PS5 costs $600, you can buy a decent pistol for $250. You can buy a decent gun. So again, it goes back to what we said. Everything is gonna come back to leadership.
So you would say it's a proper way to do it.
That's a proper way to carry a gun. And a lot of times in our community, we're not carrying these guns properly.
Right.
I seen times where the police officers then surrounded cars and pulled out 2 or 3 sticks out this car. And before they left the scene, guess what they had to do? Get those sticks back to whoever was driving that car and let them drive off. You know why they was able to give them to them?
License to carry.
Because they was carrying them legally.
Why we need to be carrying them in general, though? On each other.
Because the white folk
Why
got
we
them.
using them on each other? It ain't a problem with carrying a gun. There's no problem with carrying a weapon, a firearm. But because the whole purpose of the question is, how do we stop the violence, the black on black violence amongst the young black males in our community? How do we stop it?
Again, parenting, you got to find out. The question wasn't
There's so many niggas I can name that done been killed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about between in Wars 1 and Ward 2.
Give me a name. I mean, like I said, I
can name them.
I know them as well, but the thing I want to tell you is you got to look and see. Like, Don P, for whatever question you got about a black man, I'm sitting here talking to 2 black men. And for whatever question you got about a black man, I want you to look into the mirror. And I want you to ask yourself why they didn't end up like that. Ask yourself that. Why didn't I end up like that? If it happened to him, why didn't it happen to me? Because there was something that was there in your household that another household was missing. Parenting don't come with a, when you make a baby, when you become a parent, it don't come with instruction guide. It don't come with that. It don't come with instruction. A lot of time we having children, I ain't gonna do my child the way my mom and them did me. And that's why your child fucked up now. So you think you had a fucked up childhood, but your childhood was really sweet. According to what others had to deal with, you had it really sweet. A lot of this stuff that our kids are going through is because we are not our kids' only influence. See, if your child is in school right now, when your child come home with you, shit, you feed your child take a shower, when your child go to bed, go in the room and close the door, play the video game, you probably see your child 30 minutes good out the damn day. But they at that schoolhouse 8 hours. So that's where the biggest influence is at.
You gotta have a stronger influence than you gotta. Your influence on your children and your imprint on your children gotta be stronger than anywhere else in the world.
Gotta be stronger than anything. Anybody else got more influence on your children, you got a problem.
This one thing I advocate for. I think what Rell was saying. I think black fathers should beat. I'm gonna use a better term.
The way we say it.
You should whoop your children.
You should discipline.
Man, you should. Yeah, discipline. In a lot of cases, hold on, let me finish this. In a lot of cases, I'm gonna say whoop your child because you can discipline them in other ways, but they just don't get it. And I'm finna tell you why I say that. I know that I would have made a lot of choices that were negative. If I could have known, I could have got away with them without getting a whipping. If I'm knowing you gonna turn the TV off for the day, for a week.
Fuck that TV.
Hey.
Hold on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm knowing you finna turn that TV, if I'm knowing you gonna make me stay in my room for a week.
Fuck the TV.
Man, you feel me?
Yeah,
but when I know my daddy finna beat the dog.
When you know who gonna beat you?
My daddy.
I think.
Well, you know who gonna beat you?
My daddy. But
wait a minute. I want to ask you one more time. I did it one time for the Father and the Son. Now I'm finna do it for the Holy Ghost.
I got
now,
you.
Who gonna beat your ass?
My daddy.
Okay, then what you are? You's a male, right?
Yeah.
You's a male.
For sure.
Okay, then. So daughters need their father. Daughters need their father for this reason. Fathers got to show their daughters how a man should treat a woman. Okay? Sons need their father to know, and the father should be able to show them how to treat how things treat a woman. Okay? So, but you think about what you're saying. That's why I say look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I want you to look at what you had available to you that you just see that a lot of these people that these things are going on with don't have available to them. Okay? See, you got, there's a lot of jealousy in the black community. When relationships don't make it, okay? When relationships don't make it, everything goes sour. See, I deal with a woman right now who has 4 other kids, right? Yeah. She has 4 other kids. And I'm gonna share this right here with you. I'm not that stepfather or boyfriend who got an issue with daddy coming through. I'm not him. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, your child at my house, you welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a realist. And the reality of it is this right here. If that woman and man wanted to be with each other, they should. What kept them from being together now? And then even now, if they want to be with each other, what can you possibly do to keep them from each other? What could you possibly do? Every child needs their parent. They need both parents.
Both parents, yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, the jumper cables, the positive and the negative. But somewhere, see, like when me and my wife separated, when me and the boy and mama separated, the funny thing was the boys took it that because we were separated, that they can run over their mama. Dad ain't here no more, okay? But guess what they quickly learned? Hold up, man. These people still together.
Yeah.
When it come to us. When it come to us. Because mama can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I'm dealing with that boy. And get what daddy finna do. I'm going to start doing everything I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, the rules still the same. Don't upset the cook.
Yeah.
So the solution to the problem is strict parenting from the males.
Strict parenting.
Yeah. And if y'all separated, then be good co-parent.
And another thing, if you don't have the financial backing to hire an attorney to give you the equal rights to that child. Put a rub on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that parent. Don't be that broke daddy who want to be in the child life and can't be there, and she won't let you see the child. And you sitting over there, you ain't got no money to hire no lawyer, and you just got to deal with what's coming. Don't be that dude. Put a rub on. I know, like I say, it sounds like a lot, but it really simple.
The relationship go, then y'all break up, then you run off.
Yeah. And then the dude telling you, hey, he better not come around.
Yeah, man.
Then he done 6 months, now you got another step.
Yeah. But
come on, man.
I want to switch gears a little bit. Real quick, man, and talk about the conviction, man. So I know you had a situation with an officer. Can we touch on that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You went to trial and all that. How touch on that if you don't mind with this state patrol situation.
It was all political.
Okay.
And I had no choice but to go to trial. We were just talking about relationship goals and things. My second wife, I married to my second wife, and we had issues. We didn't have physical issues, but we had issues. And my second wife called the police one day, and this particular cop shows up. And when he showed up, he came inside of my house, and I was sitting to the table like we're sitting there now. And when the officer came into my house, when it was reality that she had called the police, I said to her in the presence of the police, I say, bitch, I know goddamn well you ain't called no police to my goddamn house.
Yeah.
And when I said that, the officer responded and said, I'm going to need you to be quiet. So when he said he needed me to be quiet, and there's a white man who's also younger than me, I got up from my table, and I'm old school.
He was in your house?
In my house. I'm old school, and there's a place where I keep all my bills. Mm-hmm. And I walked over and I grabbed about 4 bills. I didn't respond to him telling me that he gonna need me to be quiet. I just went and grabbed those bills. And I went and I stood in front of the officer and I said, here, I got these 4 envelopes in my hand. And he said, what are these? I said, these are the bills. And his response to me was, why are you giving me the bills? I said, hell, you in here giving out orders and shit. I said, hell, you pay these bills.
Yeah, right.
You in here telling people to be quiet. The only somebody to give orders in here is people that pay bills. He said, well, I ain't paying no bills. And I said, well, motherfucker, I didn't call you. I didn't call you. She did. I didn't call you. I dare you come in my house and tell me to be quiet. You got me fucked up. Yeah, right. And the situation was, let me tell you what the situation was. In the African-American community, I said earlier, we're afraid of everything except each other. In most cases, when a woman picks up the phone in our communities and says she calling the police, what do we do? Before the police get there. See how both of y'all got the same answer?
Get the hell on.
He wasn't used to dealing with, when he got there, he was expecting me to be what? Gone. But he had the right one today.
Real.
He had the right one today. I knew I hadn't broken no laws. And when he got there and I told him when he said he wasn't gonna pay no bill, I invited him to get the fuck out of my house. And I told him, I said, you take this once a month bleeding maggot with you. Yeah. And I'm sorry that I ever spoke those words, but this is how I was feeling at the time. Okay? So when he grabbed the doorknob to walk outside of my house, it's him, my wife, and myself. When he looked back to see that I was going outside with them, he asked the question, he said, where are you going? I said, man, her last name what? Reeves. Anywhere she can go, I'm welcome to go too. He said, but you told us to go outside. I said, yeah, because you're inside of my house talking crazy. Let's go out here on this sidewalk where all the taxpayers done paid for it, and you can talk crazy.
It's a little different, yeah.
Okay? Yeah. He threw his hands up, he went and got in the patrol car, and he rolled off. Later on, I was in politics at the time. The police chief was a friend of mine. I would like to say me and the police chief were good friends. Well, this same particular officer, fell asleep in a patrol car. Okay? And before he would be punished by the chief of police, he decided to quit working and go to work for the sheriff department. And from the sheriff department to Georgia State Patrol. I get a phone call that a friend of mine, y'all know that I ride with motorcycle clubs. But I get a phone call that a friend of mine had been in a motorcycle accident and he possibly was dead. When I get to the scene, the motorcycle was in such ruins that the only way, when I saw the back tire of the motorcycle, I knew who it was. And I became emotional. Went across the yellow tape. They had it taped off. I went across the yellow tape. And when I went across the yellow tape, a trooper, this other trooper, walked towards me and he said, hey, I'm going to need you to get back on the other side. And I got back on the other side. At that point, I was in compliance with the law. Okay? If he was going to write me a ticket for a trespass or come across the tape, he had an opportunity to do it then. I got back on the other side of the tape. At that point, I'm in compliance with the law. Well, I hear another state trooper coming from where we sitting at, cross Industrial way. Highway.
Yeah,
that's how
Industrial.
far he coming, walking, and he yelling. This is our crime scene. And then I hear, you have no authority here. So when you're telling me that I have no authority there, it clicks. This is someone who knows my position. This is someone who knows me. And when I zoomed in, I realized who it was. This was the same guy who was the police officer that came to my house. Feel like I got the best of him that day. So when he comes, he tell me, when he come yelling and he tell me that I don't have no jurisdiction there, I'm already on the other side of the tape. So my response to him is, man, when I realize who he is, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
I said, man, motherfuck you.
Yeah.
And again, for y'all that's watching, it's not against the law to tell a law enforcement officer, fuck you. It's against the law to say, I'll fuck you up. But it's not against the law to say, man, fuck you. Well, he
It ain't against the law to cuss at a police officer?
Fuck no.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm telling you it's not. Show it to me in writing. Well, it's against the law to say, man, motherfuck you.
But that's against the law if you threaten him.
It's against the law for you to threaten anybody.
Anybody.
For you to see, to be a police officer, you got to take some of this shit. And they required to have tough skin. At the end of the day, they human too. Well, he walked away. When he walked away, after I said, fuck you, he turned around as he was walking away, and he gave me a smirk. Like, yeah, nigga, I told your ass.
I got you.
And when he gave me that smirk, I responded, dude, it's still fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So now he turns around, he tells me to put my hand behind my back, which I refuse. Because you need to tell me what I'm putting my hand behind my back for. So when he reached for me, you can clearly see if you came to my trial when they're saying I pushed the state trooper. Like, reach for me, Rell. Hey, man, don't put your hand on me. That's what I did. Now, the law says you can't touch him, period. But at the same time, you didn't reach for me. Hey, man, do not put your hands on me. And they charged me with that. You heard all the stories that I went and snapped the sheet off the bodies. And I did. None of this stuff happened, man. None of this stuff happened. This was a simple case of me going across the tape, and an officer who feel like I got the best of him came out and was gonna show me today I got your ass now.
Yeah, so he had a vendetta against you, you would say.
And this is what happened.
All right, so with this particular case, what were your charges? What was you charged with?
My charge was two felony counts of obstruction of an officer, failure to obey, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and violation of oath of office. Now, the thing about the violation of oath of office is...
All that?
Yeah. The thing about the violation of oath of office is the charge does not stand without another felony conviction.
Oh, okay.
A jury went into the box and found me not guilty of all... They found me not guilty of the felony obstruction of the two law enforcement officers. But they came back and found me guilty of violation of oath of office. They didn't understand it. And in that case is...
So explain us the relevance of that. You didn't get... You saying that whoever wanted you to get convicted of a felony so that you could be charged and convicted with violating the oath.
Right. What I'm saying to you is, the only way that the violation of oath charge stands, see, the only way you can be in violate oath of office, that's a felony, is to be convicted of another felony. I wasn't convicted of another felony. I was found not guilty of the other 2 felonies. Everything, there were 3 felonies, and the rest of that stuff were misdemeanor charges. But the jury got it wrong.
You saying the jury got it wrong because, see, tie this into the relevance, pretty much because you done told me, I done heard you talk about it. During this time, you're in office, but other political figures want you out of office.
Right.
And then you having this incident with the police, so they're using this incident to pull rank on the police side to get you charged so that we can get you out of office on the political side.
My point well taken, and what you said is exactly what went on. Again, you got to go back to what I said earlier when this interview started, that when I ran for office because I saw the people that was coming from my walk of life wasn't being represented. And it's just some people that they don't want to be represented at the city of Cordele, Georgia. Man,
tell her what happened in that 12-year life. I want to know when you, Owens, and Darryl So are all in office, what was the issue with y'all working together for a common goal? Respect.
Respect goes a long ways. It's respect. And if you want somebody to respect your mind, you got to also respect theirs.
Respect that.
It's okay to disagree, like we were just talking about a minute ago about the parenting. One parent said it should go this way, another parent said it should go this way. They should have each other back, but at the end of the day, they both entitled to their
So what opinion. Tell her, man, like what you mean respect? What give me some, because we don't know what you mean by that respect. What? So
respect is you don't have to vote.
You saying Darryl So wasn't respecting you?
I'm basically saying that Darryl So didn't respect nobody. That Darryl So came in with the intention. With Darryl So, my opinion. This is my opinion. On this podcast, this is my opinion. Darryl So came in with to know how to fix everything, okay, and which totally undermined all the other commissioners that was in there, people that the citizen had placed in position, okay. When you go to qualify to run for office, you don't have to have a political science degree, okay. You just need to be graduated from high school and and be a registered voter and live inside this community. Yeah, there were some things. That was some things that I didn't agree with, and when I didn't agree with those things, that was an attack. Some of these things that I didn't agree with in the beginning had nothing to do with the public. It was all Darryl So. And because I didn't agree with these things, like I didn't agree with there should be an office for the chair. I didn't agree with that. And then because you got to remember, Darryl So was in office 4 years, I was there 12. Zach Wade never had an office. But he had a place of business there in Cordele, Georgia, over there at Wade or Culpeper and Wade. If you need to go over there and talk to him, you go over there and you talk to him. Chairman Wiggins, all right, held that position for 4 years, never had an office, okay? I didn't agree with a special parking spot for the chairman, okay? I didn't agree with the, what was it? There was something that he wanted to do, and he wanted to hire 4 positions. I want to say he had a $500,000 budget for 4 positions, and they would only answer to him. I couldn't agree with that because if it takes 3 commissioners to vote it through, if it takes 3 commissioners to pass it, why would I pass on? Why would it take 3 commissioners for it to get passed? But after it's passed, they only have to answer to one somebody. That didn't make sense to me, The city manager works for the commission, and she has to answer to all 5 of the commissioners. Okay, all 5 of the commissioners are her boss. Okay?
So all these things seem, not to interrupt, but all these things seem minute to me.
And I'm so glad that you said that they are minute because they were minute to me. Again, you heard me say before I gave my answer that these things that we disagreed on in the beginning had nothing to do with the people. Had absolutely nothing to do with the people. It was about self. And that's what I saw. I saw that it was about self. And when you disagree with it, the attacks came. See, and I'm going to share this with you. And I'm going to try to put it to you this way. Both of you men got wives, right?
All right.
You're
Both
right.
of y'all live home with a woman, right?
For sure.
Okay, so you go inside of your house. You go inside of your house. I want people to understand this, and this is probably the best way I can give it to you. You go inside of your house and you've been working all day, okay? And your wife has been home. No kids, no nothing. Kids been in school. When you come home and there's no food in the house, there's nothing on the table, you done worked hard today, but there's nothing in there. If you go inside of the house and you say, God damn, motherfucker, what the fuck you been doing all day? I'm out there slaving, busting my ass and shit. These goddamn rocks come from up under the lawnmower, popping me across my damn ankle, sweat running down my eye, burning my damn eyeballs and shit, dirt running down my neck, got me thinking shit crawling on me. You sit home in the damn air conditioner, sitting up here watching the damn soap opera and ain't got shit to eat.
Yeah.
Kind of shit it is. When you go in there and you talk like that to her, she gonna get up off her ass.
And tighten up.
And she gonna go in there and cook you something to eat. But 9 times out of 10, it might not be something that you're really gonna enjoy. But if you go inside of there and say, babe, ooh, now this the opposite way. When you go inside, this the respect way. Oh, baby, how was your day today, baby? Your day was okay? Oh, it's been a long hot for me. It's been a long hot for me. But baby, do you I see ain't nothing to eat. You mind fixing me something to eat? And it might 9 times out of 10, from my experience, you're gonna be met with a question. And guess what that question gonna be?
What you want to eat?
You so smart. I don't know why you went no doctor. Because you're so smart. Yeah, what do you want? See, what do you want is because of the way that you went in there. It's the way that you presented. It's the way that you went in there, and that's going to be on every level. That's on every level. People going to piggyback off of how you come.
So you think that the way his approach was just, cause that's really what you're telling me, right?
I'm telling you that it was that approach. If you team there, so if you're in agreement with him, we good. It's smooth sailing. But the minute you show opposition, or show that you don't agree, that was an issue. And that's not politics. That's not politics. You got to remember when I told you I looked at Mr. Rivers and I made a motion to do something for Dr. King, okay? Mr. Rivers' response was, hey, I second that motion. That wasn't the response. He leaned down the table and looked at Zach Wade and said, hey, I can't go against Dr. King. And then he sat back up and he said, I second that motion. Now, when I told you that, I don't know if you got the significance of it. The significance of it was this right here. King had been dead 50 years before I made the what? The motion. Okay? King was that era, not mine. Okay? But people were asking me, how is it that everybody else got a Dr. King, something to honor Dr. King in their city, and we do not? So what I was doing was I was answering the call of the people.
And this how the street name got named.
And this how the street name got named.
Okay.
Okay? When I was praised for it, let me share this with you. And Dr. Dardell, Youth of D. Dardell, and she was saying she'll tell you that, hey, he telling the truth. I went to an NAACP function, and the president of the NAACP at that current time was Members Brown, okay? And I was feeling good about what we had accomplished. The people, that majority white commission said that y'all can have, who can have it? Y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all can have MLK, but it has to stop at
7th Street.
At 7th Street at the bridge.
At 7th Street. And y'all know, because y'all from the same city I'm from. 7th Street and the railroad track traditionally separated the blacks and the whites. I tell people all the time, people fighting to move from the west side to the east side. Ain't nobody running from the east side to come to the west side. But with the majority white commission, I accepted King from the peanut mill to 7th Street. Now, the NAACP president criticized me. He criticized the commission for allowing the people to tell us that it couldn't go no further on 7th Street. And I want to say, he said we shouldn't have accepted what? We shouldn't have accepted that. And because he said that in his position, y'all, I went into a shell. I went into my house, and I was in a place of depression because I went from being praised to beat up on about it, okay? But after this, Dr. Dodell reached out to me. Good today. And from that phone call, I got a phone call from the president of the NAACP Atlanta, Georgia. That was huge to me. I got a phone call from the president of the NAACP, Columbus, Georgia. Albany, Georgia, and Americus, Georgia. All of these people called me. You know what they were telling me? Congratulations. Hey, man, what you did ain't to be looked at lightly. He said, if they'd gave you, he said, I know I'm saying about where it stopped at. He said, came in there, they the one came in there 50 years, your city ain't had nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Your president of the NAACP himself hadn't been to the city and petitioned the city to honor Dr. King with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They go down there every year and get permission to march down their own street. He said, what you done is to be celebrated. Okay? Mm-hmm. Clemency got some bridge. All that's my work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what he shared with me was, hold your head. He said that he gave you one city block, just one city block. That was more than what you were. Hey. Okay, so now I got a dairy soda saying, name the streets after people don't do nothing for nobody. But then we'll tell our children that you got to understand our history in order for us to move forward. You got to know where you were coming from.
Yeah.
Well, if King was dead 50 years before I got here, you know, when I realized what was going on, what about the young kids coming up and when they take King out of the history book? Somebody going to look up one day and say the same thing. We asked a question about who? Joe Wright. Mm-hmm. We want to know who Joe Wright drive. We want to know who Joe Wright was one time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody told me, said, oh, he just got a street named after him because he owned a dry cleaner. Mm-hmm. He wanted the first black businessman in this community on a dry cleaner. But then I got it. Then I talked to those people like Miss Lovett, and I talked to those people like Miss Patrick, and I talked to those people like Miss Rutler and Mr. I talked to these people I talked to people like Pearl Reed. I talked to these people, and I talked to Miss Pearl Booker, and I talked to these people, and these people told me, said, no.
Who have been in the community for.
No, they upstanding.
Yes,
these
sir.
people said, no, don't make no mistake about it. Say what he did was, I'm going to tell you what he did, and it was significant for me, and I can tell it now, but what he did was they had charity events yearly. They would go and get quilts for the wintertime and pass out quilts to poor black people who didn't have quilts. They always had a food pantry to feed the needy. They was doing in Cordele, Georgia, what Hosea Williams and them were doing here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay?
You saying Mr. Joe Wright?
Mr. Joe Wright was part of that.
All right.
Okay? Him and Aaron Reed and others. Okay? And what I took, what I got from that was, I mean, his contribution to the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. They wanted me to feel like it was only because he had a cleaner.
It was just
but
his whole contribution to the community.
And one of the things they told me that just stayed with me was there was a time to where the NAACP had to have so many members to exist. And you got to remember, you're talking about the 60s, right? You're talking about the 60s and the 70s, right? Mm-hmm. So during that movement, so you got to remember in Cordele, Georgia, most of our people worked for who? For white people. White people, yeah. So white people, when they find out that you done joined this group called the NAACP, you could you very well lose your what? Job.
Yeah.
So this is what they did. Let me tell you what they did. And I admire them for this. This is what they did. This, Mr. Reed, JoJo Wright, Mr. Booker, all of them. What they would do is they would sign names. They would sign for membership. They would sign names of people and pay the membership fee. So you had people that was members of the NAACP who didn't know that they were members. Mm-hmm. They were the first what I call my fraud people. Mm-hmm. They signed people's names and paid the money for the chapter to exist. Mm-hmm. So, and I admired them for that, because if it weren't for JoJo Wright, that would have not been a NAACP chapter in Cordele, Georgia. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that was, so names do mean something.
I got you.
Clemency got some bread.
It do mean something. And I want to say that, man, before we get up out of here. I know we got a little minute before we, but two things. To the people that watching this, Joe Wright is a well-known street in Joe Wright Avenue. Is a well-known street in Cordele, Georgia.
Joe Wright Drive.
Joe Wright Drive, for the people that don't know what he's talking about. All right, to Josh, to Deriso, we just want to say, hey man, we rock with you over here. We ain't doing no slander, you know what I'm saying? Russ just speaking the truth on that. And that's the main thing I want to touch on. But back to that.
Let me add on to that.
Go ahead.
Hey man, I have nothing but respect for Deriso. Anybody who believe in what he believe in and believe in it wholeheartedly, you gotta respect that.
For sure.
Like I said,
Somebody that's standing up for the people too.
Hey man, it just like I say, we just had different opinions.
Yeah,
and it didn't work. But that's again, that's politics 101.
Mm-hmm.
That's politics 101. And on no level of government where everybody agrees.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned when I got into politics was if you have a commission where everyone is in agreement with each other, somebody's not being represented.
Yeah.
Somebody's not being represented. I want to go a little farther. I believe that now where we are now in the city government, you don't see people raising sin and fussing about what's going on in City Hall. You don't see that now.
I was gonna ask you that.
You know, we don't see that now. You know, so what happened? People lost interest.
Nah. Yeah. So what? So let's because we kind of want to move through a little.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to touch on the conviction too. Tell about your conviction before we bounced off of that. But what happened when you took him to trial? I asked you that for that specific reason.
I took him to trial, and for the most of it, we won.
You won, okay.
For the most of it, we won. The jury did come back and find me guilty of a violation of the office.
Okay.
And that's up for appeal.
How did the jury look?
The jury was
you saying because you was
the
making
jury,
a point
the
about
jury,
us not want to be on jury duty.
The jury were probably eight blacks.
Okay.
8 blacks. Okay. And when I say jury, my peers, that was the people who actually sat there who knew me. Okay. These are people that after they showed the evidence, after they showed the video, they actually see it again. They wanted to continue to see it because they didn't see what people said I had done. They didn't see me hitting anybody. They never saw that. So
you came out on the good side of that.
Well, I'm on first offender's probation. Okay, I complete this probation. All of my rights are stored. Early voting starts tomorrow for the DAC, school board, District 1, Post 2, county commission seat, and my first offender probation allows me to vote. To vote in this. And for anybody, I would tell people that if you're going to plead guilty to something and you can't afford anything, if they offer you first offenders, from my own experience, take it, do the right thing. You don't lose your rights, okay? And once you're done, once you completed that time, you all your right. I mean, it's like nothing happened.
It'll be restored.
It's off your record. So
hey, so because before we get out of here, it's a couple things that I just want to make sure we go over. When you, Deriso, and Owens were all in office, right? Because we had the discussion.
Okay.
And now I understand. I see what you're saying. Deriso's approach made it difficult for y'all to be able to work together toward a common cause, even though y'all, disagreed on things.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think our commission could get back to that? And,
most certainly.
And why the second part though? Why are we not hearing the discussions and talks about Cordele politics anymore?
Because again, we're afraid of everything except each other. See, here again, you showed up to meetings in large numbers to tell me and Deriso and everybody else what we needed to be doing. You showed up to say what was wrong and what was right. But now you got a majority white commission again, and nobody wants to approach them. It goes back to what I told you earlier about Born and Fife, okay? It goes back. So, and that's why I feel that it's this way. But I'm one person that have not lit up. I'm still very well political active. I stay on the phone, and I'm always talking to. I pick up the phone if it's something that I don't feel like is right. If I don't feel like it's going in the right direction, I don't just sit there and say, well, I'm not city commissioner anymore. I pick up the phone, and I call Wesley Rain, and I tell Wesley Rain how I feel about this or that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he has a seat that's coming up. At the end of the day, man, these 4 years roll around fast, and these seats are not as long as what people think they are.
Hey, what happened with Angela Reddy, man? We had a black city manager that once the commission changed, she left. And I see you was upset about that. What happened with that situation? Give us, try to give us the short meat and potatoes of it. But what happened with that situation? Why did she end up getting fired?
Highly respected woman within the state. When I say GMA, that's the Georgia Municipal Association, an association I've been around, like I said, for 12 years. And Angela Redden is one of the most respected city managers in the game. Okay, she didn't come to Cordele because she needed money. She came to Cordele because she wanted to see her city better. She wanted to see her city prosper. Before she became city manager in Cordele, Georgia, she's one of the founding members of the group, my brothers and sister keeper, who came here with the intention for a better Cordele. They wanted to take some of what they had picked up from cities that they had lived in or visited to and bring it back to our city. So big shout out to her for that. But what happened was, if you remember well, if y'all watched a lot of time, not only did I and Dariso bump heads, Angela and Dariso bumped heads. He felt like there were some things that he should be doing that she was doing, or vice versa. But I felt that Angela, my opinion of Angela, best city manager I seen. Best city manager I seen in Cordele, Georgia. When I talk with West Lorraine, and I talk with others, when they talk about the things that she didn't do, Angela Redden is not one of those people that's going to do what you told her to do. Angela Redden is one of those people that's going to do what's in writing. You got to put it to people in writing. You don't want to go out on a limb.
So what happened though?
Well, that was something that she would actually do that she didn't do, and she asked them to give it to her in writing. You put it down in writing that I can do this. And when she didn't do it, this is their reason. This is what they say. This is why they say they fired her. But I honestly believe that she lost her job simply because she was an African American woman, and it was get back for firing the white guy, Roland McCarthy, the previous 4 years. I feel like it was some get back. I feel like the majority white commission said, okay, then when they got the commission, they fired a white guy, put a black person in position. Now we got the commission back. Let's fire her and put somebody white in position. Okay. I feel like that's what went on.
Okay. When you gave that,
but to answer your second question, yes, we will get back to a majority black commission. We will go back to it. JoJo, and I'm gonna say this on Global Podcast. JoJo don't win without the support of Royce Reeves. He don't win. Okay? Josh Dariso wins, hands down.
With the support of Royce Reeves.
With the support of Royce Reeves. But how much sense do it make to go out and support somebody who's verbally against you?
I got you.
You know what I mean? So, and I would like to say this right here. Like, I apologize, but not on a stage of this magnitude. I'm gonna I want to apologize for us not being in the position that we're in, because what I should have been doing was when Josh was telling people not to support me, I should have been still telling people, hey, Josh feel the way that he feel. Politics take a while. I mean, I like where his head is. I feel that he's really passionate about serving his people. I'm not going to ask y'all not to support him. Support him and support me. Even though he's telling y'all not to support me, I'm going to still let y'all know.
So you think you could have took the higher road and y'all still would have came out better?
I honestly do believe that.
See, I think a lot of times.
Hey, hold on. Give me some for that one.
All right. A lot of times.
That take a lot. That take a lot.
I just say.
Because what happened is, a result of us not being there, Angela Redden, first African American, female or male, to serve at that position. Okay?
Lost her influence. Lost her position.
She lost it. Now, those African American contracts that I talked about,
lost them.
One has been lost just a few days ago. One of those contracts have been pulled away just a few days ago. So, but like I said, this is politics 101. Yeah. And what you do is, one of my favorite poets of all time is Rick Ross. Yeah. And I hear Rick Ross say that we have to disrupt before we elevate. And I believe that this was our disrupt the moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I believe that at the end of the day, what went on with me, Dariso, in this past commission was needed. because it was needed so that it don't happen again.
Gotcha.
It's a blueprint to show people, hey, this is what's gonna happen to y'all. Don't. So when others get together, so when that net commission get together, whether Josh on it, I'm on it, anybody else is on it, hey, look.
We need to be working together regardless.
We don't. But working together in politics is a dangerous thing, and that's the point that I keep trying to put to people. Working together. Working together is what you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
This is what you guys are doing here.
See, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was about to say. I was saying, like, you would think that y'all going for the same seat or whatever, like, y'all would get on the phone, because I would think that y'all, you know what I'm saying, if me and Russ running, I would hit Russ like, hey, bro, you need to do this, do that. If I don't get it, I want you to get it. That's what I think, but I guess it don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it was a coaching position or something, I would want the best man to fill the seat, but I guess it don't work like that. So how you feel about that?
Well, we weren't running for the same seat, and then Josh's bigger issue with me that people didn't really see was my influence, and the influence that I had built up over 12 years. My influence wasn't there just with black people, but the white people as well. Okay, and what I learned is in a small place 2 hours south of Atlanta, Georgia, where a railroad track really separate the blacks and the whites, is that in order for me to get anything done for my people, that I got to be willing to sit across the table. I got to be willing to sit across the table, okay, and work with the people that sit across the table with me. And his issue was the influence that I had on the commission. So, that's what it was. And we lost that influence. If you remember this past election, the number of votes that I had was still larger than my opponents, okay? So it was clear, even with the charges that I'm facing, that the people still wanted the Royce Reeves.
Yeah.
And that was collaboration amongst, let me make it clear, I didn't lose my seat because I did something wrong on the seat. I lost my seat because there was a group of people that bought into a theory, okay? That bought into a theory.
Come on, yeah.
A group of people bought into a theory, and what I want to say it.
Man, we can go on and say it, cause say it.
That was a group of people that bought into a narrative that just was not so, okay? And what they did was, they did what the whites and the people that wanted to see me out of office, the people who was upset with me for naming a street after 50 years of the King's death after King, the people who opposed me for honoring Clemency Gasson, our own civil rights activist, with the bridge, the people who opposed me for having alcohol sales on Sunday, the people who opposed me for making the commission understand that, hey man, these are adults. You got to be 21 years old to enter to a nightclub. These are adults that you're telling to go home at 12 o'clock at night. For the people that opposed me, they wanted me out of office. And they used my very own people to get me out of office.
To get you out of there.
Because in Wars 1 and 2, the white vote don't matter in Wars 1 and 2. Okay? The white vote don't matter. Wars 1 and 2 are majority black wars, okay? There will be no representation in Wars 1 and 2 but an African American.
But let me ask you this though. Why? I mean, I ain't got no skin in the game. I just want to know, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you and Buddy, I'm gonna say Buddy because I don't want to keep name dropping.
Right.
Because I got the utmost respect for both of y'all. How, if y'all weren't running for the same seat, how y'all beefing? How it smoke?
Well, like I said, again, when I asked the same question.
He telling you they had differences on opinions on something, and then he's saying that pretty much he started being attacked, and then it just continued to snowball out of control.
Somebody shooting at you.
I seen him watch this snowball out of control when I'm trying to really help both sides.
Now I'm gonna give it to you what it really is. I'm gonna give it to you what it really is.
Make it short though.
Okay, I have the influence. It's a 5-person commission. Okay, and I have the influence of Shepard and Rainer.
That's 2 of the commissioners.
And myself is what?
3.
So, but if I would come over here with you and Isaac, who always agreed with you, then we get the things that you want to get done.
Oh, yeah.
But because I'm in disagreement, and I didn't disagree with everything Darius wanted, But because of the way we went at each other, people didn't get to see when we did agree. That was the thing we did. Deriso was a part of the criminalization of possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
Okay.
He was a part of that.
That's
Okay.
good.
So yeah, and that's what it was, because it's funny that if I can't have it, you won't have it either.
Yeah.
It's real like
Y'all X'd each other out.
Yeah.
You feel like
no.
y'all X'd each other out.
No. If we were fighting, I would hit myself. I hit you.
Yeah.
If we were fighting,
Yeah.
I didn't. What I did was what I've always done. I stood by what I felt like was right.
All right, man.
And whether you agree with it or not, there were times where majority. I told you when I came in office, it was a majority white commission. So there was a lot of things that I wanted to see done that the white commission, majority commission, voted were down. At times, 3 white commissioners and a black commissioner, whether it was Mr. Rivers or Commissioner Shepard, voted were down. So but what I didn't do was, when they voted me down, what I didn't do was, I've always told people that the seat belongs to the people. Seat don't belong to me. It belongs to the people. So when Don P, when you and Rell ask me something for the city of Cordele, I tell you to tune in to the meeting. And when the meeting comes on, when the film starts rolling, you get to see me ask for what it is that you want.
That's what you wanted, okay.
You get to see me ask for that.
Yeah.
Those were my politics.
Yeah, and I can't say that about you. You always one of the ones that, hey, man, I can remember when I was in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? Somebody be like, hey, boy, we need to get it dead. But go holler at Russ. You know what I'm saying? So I double
What do
salute
you
you on
think
that.
us
That
as
was
a
my job.
people? Use your influence now. What would you tell us as a people? Us in Cordele citizens listening to you. What do we need to do over the next couple of years to get the commission back, I guess, in a favor where we could get things done for us? I'm not saying that it isn't now, but it would seem to be from what I'm being told, what's being said. So what are our steps moving forward?
I can answer that. Stronger voter registration, okay? Choosing candidates who can agree to disagree. Choosing candidates that's, understand politics 101 is that we're not going to all agree. And we're not going to always agree, okay? And once you see, this is the thing, it comes to a vote.
Voter registration.
It comes to a vote. Anything you do comes to a vote. Let me say it right here. When Trump won the seat, right? When Trump won the seat, did you march to Washington and tell them we need to revote? You didn't do that, did you? You accepted it. You accepted it. You accepted it.
Yeah.
So as elected officials, what we need to do when there's something we brought to the table didn't get the support that we thought it should get, we should accept it. And perfect example. Did you know that Martin Luther King now runs out the Highway 90? You just heard me tell you a few minutes ago that a majority white commission gave it to me, but they said they had to stop at what? 7th Street.
Now it's been extended.
Okay.
Well, what I did was when Josh and Isaac came on, okay,
Now you
I
can get in.
accepted the 7th Street thing. But I knew that eventually that this would be a majority African-American, black,
City commission.
whatever you want to call it, commission. I knew that it was one day coming. I saw it. I saw it coming. And I saw it in Ward 3. I saw it in Ward 3. Over there, for y'all that don't know what Ward 3 is, it's over in the area traditionally known as the White Folks Project.
Gotcha.
Okay? I saw the numbers of blacks rising in that community. Okay?
East
So
side.
on the east side. So just agreeing to disagree. And if you don't get what you want this time, it's politics.
You might get it next time.
You might get it the next time.
So what you gonna tell us as a people? We just need to make sure that we have some more voter registration.
I'm gonna tell you as a people.
How do we make sure our people come out and vote? That's what I want to ask. I want to, because you said you had the most votes, 300 and something.
308 votes.
How
to this
do
day.
we influence
And to
our
this-
people to come out and cast their ballot?
Well, when people see what's going on in politics right now, okay, you just got to give it. Wait these 4 years. I'm just praying that people paying attention to politics.
But what do we
Even
do?
if they're-
What do we do, Royce, to make sure they come out?
Pay attention. Continue to pay attention. You paid attention the past 4 years. The only talks I heard when I went on Facebook, what was going on at the city commission. That's all I heard for 4 years. Whenever I would go anywhere, I leave outside of my house and what's going on at the city Cordele. Continue to pay attention. Continue to pay attention.
I think we
don't not pay attention because Darius and myself are not sitting there. Owens is not sitting there. Continue to pay attention and watch the moves that the city commissioners are making. And I promise you that eventually they'll make a move the way it's going to spark something. The way, you know what? When he run again,
he gotta go.
He gotta go. And so, and this is.
We need to influence our youth. Encourage and influence our youth when they turning 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, that they need to be avid voters at 18 and out. Because, when the first time I ever voted in my whole life.
When you voted for me?
You the first person I ever voted for in my whole life.
And you was a grown man at that time.
I wasn't going to vote for then.
But I'm going to tell you what, when I started voting.
Nobody wasn't encouraging me heavily to go vote either.
I'm going to tell you when I started voting.
But we need that in our community.
I started voting when I was 18 years old. When I was old enough to get a driver's license, I went and got a driver's license. When I turned 18 years old and I was able to vote, I started voting. Because the truth of the matter is, your vote gives you the right to complain.
No.
Your vote gives you the right to complain. And a lot of times complaining don't solve nothing, but at least you got that right to complain.
Man, I couldn't vote till I was down to 30. But hey.
But you went and took care of your business.
Yeah, I went and took care of my business.
Go ahead.
Hey, I want to just touch on a few things before we get out of here, man, like the little random topics. And you know what I'm saying? I know we ain't got much time. We don't talk about politics for
2 hours.
Hey, man, let's get off of it. Let's get to
so
it.
what would you say, man? Like, you think marriage overrated? You married, single?
I'm single right now.
Okay.
But I've been married twice.
Married, okay.
And marriage is a beautiful thing.
Okay.
When you got two people that's, again, the difference in marriage and politics is, in marriage you need to be working together. Yeah. You need to be in agreement.
Yeah.
That ain't what politics is.
I got you.
In marriage, y'all need to have each other's back, and we need to know where we going.
Would you get married a third time?
Yeah, I would. Okay. Yeah, I would. Marriage is a beautiful thing to have somebody to share your life with, have somebody to come home to, somebody to share life's life moments with.
What made the qualifications of a good wife to you?
A good wife to me?
Sum it up. Tell me in 30 seconds. What makes somebody a good wife?
Somebody who's going to pick me up when I'm down, defend me against whoever, even if it's her father and her mother, her brother and sister. A good wife, she asks, "Are you okay?" And the reason she asking, "Are you okay?" because you're not okay. She's prepared to do whatever it takes to make it okay.
Make it okay, yeah.
That's what a good wife is.
I ain't heard you say now time she got to pay now bill though.
Well, like I said, to have my back.
I'm just asking. So you gonna?
It depends.
So if she do those other things, you gonna provide all of it financially?
Well,
all the financial support.
As you know, as a man, I'm in a leadership position. If I don't have a job, if don't nobody work in the house but my wife, at the end of the day, I'm still in control. The Bible says, "Bring all the goods." The Bible says, "Truly bring all the goods and the deeds to the storehouse, so that there would be meat in my house." That's scripture. Yeah. So I would say that, like, a lot of men have went out there and they feel like, because they work and they bring home a check every day, that they should be running something. I'm gonna run it if I don't go to work. If she go to work, I'm gonna run her check.
That's right.
And a lot of women gonna disagree with that. A lot of women gonna disagree with that. But like I said, you got to know what you're dealing with. Yeah. You dealing with a man or you dealing with a little boy.
What you said you want from your woman, though?
To keep her mouth closed and her legs open.
Them two main things you need.
Yeah, it keeps her happy. Everybody always talking about happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life. Nobody never discusses what keeps a happy husband.
Yeah.
So when I answer that, I want to be clear. Yeah. When somebody asks me what would make a happy husband for me, mouth closed. Yeah. Legs open.
That right?
That'll keep me happy. That'll keep me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The finances of a couple is whatever we agree on, like we talked about earlier. A lot of times you gotta have these conversations. I'm glad you said that, not to get off of marriage, but since we talking to the world, y'all, there's too many times we stayed into the old ways. And I'm still hearing women tell their daughters, don't be with a man who can't do nothing for you. Have y'all heard that saying?
Say it all the time. They say it all the time.
Yeah, I disagree with that fully. we live in a time today where everything is afforded to who wants it. And I would tell my daughter today that, hey, go to school, get your education, get that job that you want, get that high salary job that you want, and, just be that independent girl that you can be. Stand on your own. Stand on your own. And if you choose to have a man, if you want to go to Joe's or you want to go to the Green Store or you want to go down to 16th Avenue and you want to get you one of those guys to sit around the house all day, play the video game, as long as he ain't disrespecting you and beating on you, you want to see about that man, it's okay. Daddy going to support you on that. Because too many times we
I ain't going to support mine.
Well, like I said, it's an opinionated thing. Too many times. But I'm going to tell you what happens in what I've seen in my 54 years of living. With this old saying, that don't deal with a man who can't do nothing for you. Too many times because that man is a provider. Too many times because she's dependent on him to pay the bills. He beats her. Too many times he got multiple relationships going on. You know what I'm saying? And she really can't do anything about it because what she got from the house was what she got. Didn't nobody tell her not to be with a man who respected her.
That shit legal pimping.
It's legal pimping.
Yeah.
So that's why I would tell my daughter to go out and be self-sufficient and do what you want to do. And whenever my daughter, see, that's what I didn't finish with. Whenever my daughter got tired of the dude sitting on the sofa playing the video game, drinking up the juice, guess what she could tell me? Hey, you need to leave. You know what I'm saying? And guess what he got to do?
You got to leave.
Get up out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get him up out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. What you said earlier about the indirectly and directly.
Oh, every man.
I think it was something about when he giving her the money. You know what I'm saying? You giving her the money.
Yeah, men gonna pay for sex.
Yeah.
Men gonna pay for sex, and it's gonna be directly or it's gonna be indirectly. Yeah. Now I'm gonna share something with you. To pay for sex directly is illegal. Okay, to offer somebody some money for sex directly is illegal. You can walk up to a woman and say, hey. You can walk up to a woman and say, hey, I want to fuck you. Yeah. And you might get the shit slapped out you. You might get cussed out. But she can call the police, and when the police get there, he can't lock you up for saying, I want to fuck you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now if you walk up to that woman and offer her some money, the fuck, you going to jail for soliciting sex. Yeah. Okay? But directly and indirectly, men going to pay for sex directly and indirectly. And a lot of times, you start out directly, you'll give a woman something. Give a woman something, she give you something, y'all enjoy each other. That week she calling you, somebody, can you help her out? You remember how good she was to you last week.
Hey, you gonna break bread, huh?
Now you done turned to indirectly. Yeah. You went from directly to indirectly.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it either way.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it.
Hey, well listen, man, it's been about 2 hours. I know we gotta wrap it up. Russ, you always welcome to come back. You really want our OG for sure, for the guys that grew up in the era on the west side when you was really that pivotal figure, still is. You know what I mean? Still in the same spot you at now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you welcome back in the time, man. We're glad to have you here at Global Local Podcast. I thank you for coming out and sharing some of your views, some of your political views, and opening up some of really just explaining some of the situation, giving us some clarity on it. And I'm glad that me and you was able to reconcile our little differences. We didn't even get to all that at one time. But
we never had differences. We just had two people that disagree.
There you go. That one.
We just had two people that disagree. We should have been an example for the world. Yeah. Because we were two people.
The camera should have been on, and that
they would never know. See, to have differences mean we at each other. Me and you would never at each other. We just two people who disagree. That's real. And that's what the world got to see. They got to see more people. You entitled to your opinion. Just as well as I'm entitled to mine. All right. Okay, but I want to leave y'all this right here. I want to give y'all this right here. So when my name come up, when my name came up, y'all put some respect on it.
Put some respect on your name, that right?
No. I said when my name came up,
okay.
Y'all put some respect on it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was a few places I know where y'all was at. I could have pulled up on y'all, but I thought that was gangster.
Okay,
you know
okay.
But I thought that was gangster. You know what I'm saying? If somebody asked me while I'm here, I tell them I done did it already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Well, hey, that was real though. Hey, before we get out of here, I want to say this for real, man. Hey, here at Global Local, we're gonna continue to celebrate our people and educate our people, man. So y'all already know our slogan, man. Let them know what it is, Don P. Let's take a shot before we get out.
You got to stay on your grind because you never know when your time to shine coming. You could be local today and you could be global tomorrow.
Let's get out of here.
And we gone.
Get out of here.
Hey, if you say you can, then don't let them say you can't.